Hi, I'm here to talk about Prince Schneizel, and it's not on the cover of season one. That's fair. He doesn't have that big of a role in season one, but season two, hey, he's not on the cover for season two either, and he has a very big role. Well, anyways, Prince Schneizel is one of the big villains in Code Geass. And it might not seem that way at first. Schneizel is a little subtle, and it takes him a while to do something important in the show. And Schneizel, he's very sneaky. He's very much a behind-the-scenes villain, which the big villain Charles is too, but Charles, he does make his presence known. He makes those big speeches. He's very loud. He makes his intentions clear. He shows how bad it can be. While Schneizel gets to pretend that he's the nice guy. He's the very friendly, charming, attractive prince. He's this friendly, harmless, well-intentioned person. That's what he seems to be, but that's not what he is. Schneizel is very dangerous, one of the most dangerous characters in Code Geass, and he brilliantly hides that by having this calm, soft demeanor. He seems like one of the most likable and charming characters in Code Geass, but he really isn't. That amazing design, his soothing voice, his charming presence, he is not a good person. Although, like Charles, Schneizel in his weird way thinks he's actually helping. But that's not exactly the case. Schneizel's willing to make some pretty big sacrifices to make the world a better place. And his methods for making the world a better place, they wouldn't actually make the world a better place. He's putting a lot of people's lives in danger, and he thinks that's an okay thing to do, and it's not. So Schneizel is a villain with a very messed up worldview, which is pretty common in Code Geass, but I like that even though he could be considered greedy, trying to take power away from others, he's not that villain that's simply motivated by wanting to be powerful, to wanting to rule the world. He wants to change the world, which technically Lelouch wants to do too, and Lelouch has some questionable methods, which Schneizel gets to used to his advantage by making Lelouch look bad and making himself look not that bad, which is very brilliant and sneaky, but deep down Lelouch has more morals and he has better standards than Schneizel does. Schneizel, although he seems really charming, the kind of person you love to hang out with, love to be friends with, he is actually very sneaky and very villainous. He is one of the most dangerous characters in Code Geass. If you want to know how dangerous Schneizel is, even Charles was warning Lelouch about how dangerous Schneizel was, and Lelouch, he knew that Schneizel was up to no good. Lelouch was smart enough to know that Schneizel was an untrustworthy person. However, despite that, Lelouch still underestimated what a big threat Schneizel could be, because Schneizel turned out to be, I think, more threatening than Lelouch was counting on him to be. Lelouch was considering Charles to be the biggest threat, and there is an argument to be made that Schneizel is kind of rivals Charles for being the big villain Code Geass a lot of the time, especially what happens later on. So Schneizel is one of the biggest threats in Code Geass, and a very interesting, brilliantly written threat. And Charles is already a great lead villain, and they throw in this other great lead villain that also has this great worldview that's different from Charles's, but still messed up and is fascinating. So they did a great job with Schneizel as a villain.